Hey, I'm Jose Negron. With the World Cup around the corner, I've just been finding myself constantly thinking about what the US's starting 11 might end up being. I know there's a lot of opinions out there, and I just wanted to contribute my own. And yeah, hopefully Greg doesn't do anything too crazy. And yeah, let's just get into it.
I kind of wanted to keep it realistic to what Greg can possibly be doing. So we're going to keep the 4-3-3 formation. I think that a few of these are kind of obvious. So at the left back, you're going to have Jedi, of course. No backup left back. God. Richards, maybe at the center back. Probably Zimmerman. Yeah, no chance for Brooks. Right side, we're going to have Dest, goalkeeper. Probably going to be Stefan. But, I mean, it could be Turner, maybe Horvath, but I think it's probably between these two. So, at the number 6, I think we're probably going to have Adams. One thing that's been going on with Adams, he's basically another defender, you know? Like, he's good at interceptions, he's good at protecting the back line. His passes haven't been great. Hopefully Adams can combine with the rest of the players in the midfield and help with intercepting the ball and then just making the first pass. If Adams can kind of just stick to that, that's probably where he's at his best. If we want a player who can be a little bit more creative at the 6, of course we can think about Luca de la Torre. I mean, I just think that Luca is amazing at turning with the ball, driving it upfield, and making a line-breaking pass. I know he was playing in like a shitty team in the Dutch division, but hopefully when he moved to Spain, we'll be able, at Celta Vigo, we'll be able to see him actually get a starting job. And the one question with Luca de la Torre is if he's good defensively. He might not be at the levels at Adams, but depending on who you're playing, the ability that Luca has to just drive the ball upfield and actually make a dangerous pass is something that not that many players on this team have. Like, I mean, you have Musa, who's somewhat similar in that he's really good at receiving the ball, turning and driving it upfield, but at least with the national team, that last pass when he needs to make a pass hasn't really been there. At least in the last window, you kind of see that. But for now, I think definitely Adams, Luca de la Torre. It's possible, it's interesting, it's an idea. I'm curious how it goes, like having him at the 6. But I think the safest thing is probably going to be Adams. So at the right of midfield, we're going to have Musa. Like I said with Musa, he's just been really good at. He's just super technical. He's really good at dribbling. He's really fast with the ball. He's good at turning. He drives it upfield. The last thing for Musa is just being able to make the pass. Like, he's so good at getting past one person, using his body, using his speed, but just I really want him to work on just being able to lay it off at the end, because I think that's just the last thing that's missing. Of course, finishing, but for his role at this team, like just being able to drop it off at the end, I think is going to make a huge difference.
His backup might be
Aronson looks like he's really taking the next step and can be another creative midfielder that can be involved in the attack and make line-breaking passes. And the obvious one, we have McKennie. I'm going to talk more about McKennie's role later. Left side, obviously, we have Pulisic. Right side, Weah's been the best winger on the right side. Timo Weah has been the best player on the right side. And then up top, I think we should have Hayes. Nope. We are going to have Renya. All right. So the biggest question surrounding this team has been who's going to play the 9? Who's going to play the 9? Okay. Why do we have to play a traditional number 9? All right. Why do we have to pick a player for the formation rather than just putting the best players that we have out there? Okay. Renya can be a false 9. Renya can be your 10. Renya, you want to put Renya centrally and let him combine with other players. We've seen Greg play Ferreira at this kind of false nine position. Reina would be it's not even comparable how much better he would be at this. I know he's been injured, so I mean, like there's a reason why he hasn't been playing recently, but like in interviews he was asked specifically about playing Reina centrally and possibly at the false nine position, and he said he needs to see him play that position for club, and he hasn't really even considered it. Ferreira has only scored for the national team against Grenada. Of course, he had one other goal in 500 minutes, whatever. But rather than just picking a nine, just get your best players on the field, all right? Let the formation work for your players. Don't do it the other way. Don't just try and fit players into a static formation. So I just really kind of want to go through how I think this should look. So starting with Jedi's going to provide you your width, okay? Jedi's going to stay on the outside. He's going to cross the ball in. Greg loves people crossing, so that's going to be kind of Jedi's role. Pulisic on the other hand, he likes to cut inside, okay? Pulisic likes that inverted winger position. You're going to get, like, Jedi's going to provide the width. Pulisic is going to come inside. Reina is not going to be a true number 9. He's going to come into the midfield, be a false 9, kind of be like a number 10. He's going to combine with the midfield, distribute to Pulley. He can score goals. He can pass. He's probably our player with the highest ceiling, and he's already top 3. Him, Pulley, and Weston are our best players. All right. On the other hand, Dest on the other side, Dest is going to be more of your inverted person. He's going to cut inside when he attacks. He loves to attack. You're going to let him have the freedom to kind of cut inside, while Weah is going to stay on the outside. I know Weah, he could possibly play striker, especially if we're doing like a counter-attacking type of game, if we're playing England or something like that. But Weah has been dangerous on crosses. Weah has actually been like our best winger in what Greg is looking for, which is someone to just like cross the ball in, okay? So what you have on the left side, you have Pulisic cutting in while Jedi stays wide. I think you have the opposite on the right side, just letting the players do kind of what they want. You have Des cutting inside and Weah kind of staying outside, okay? Then Adams, like I said, he's another defender. You're going to have him protecting the back line, all right? Hopefully he can get the ball to Musa or Wesson or whoever, but his main priority is just going to be protecting the back line, getting interceptions, and playing defense. And I talked about it before, Musa is kind of just, he's going to be your traditional just midfielder. He's really good with the ball, turning and running up the field. I just really hope he gets better at, like, with his vision and seeing passes when they're available to him. The biggest thing with this lineup, I'm just going to do another circle, Weston McKennie. Weston McKennie, he's the best when you just let him do whatever the fuck he wants.
Pulisic's sister.
Weston McKennie, be a rover and do whatever the hell he wants. If you don't have a true 9 and you're like, who's going to get on the end of crosses? It's Weston. This guy scores goals. This guy, he's great at arriving late to the box. He's great at combining with other players in the midfield. He's great at movement. And he's the one who's going to get on the end of crosses on set pieces. With this 4-3-3, giving Weston freedom, he's basically going to be your striker whenever he feels like it. Reina playing centrally and coming back and combining with the midfield and then being able to distribute to Pulley, who's cutting inside, or way on the outside. These are just kind of ideas. At the end of the day, you just want to get your best fucking players on the field. If we have Ferreira starting and you're telling me we're going to have Musa or Reina or Aronson on the bench, that just doesn't seem right. Especially when Greg is kind of having Ferreira play this false 9 formation. Reina can do this better. So I think it might be unlikely that we see this. Greg has been someone who's slow to change, but I just was thinking about it, and this is just something I randomly became very passionate about having Reina as the false 9 in the 4-3-3 that he loves, that Greg loves to play.
I don't mean to come off like I'm bashing Ferreira, I think he's a great player, and he's probably one of our best options at the 9. It was more just to showcase how good I think Reina is and how good he might be in that role. So I'm sorry if it came off that I'm bashing Ferreira, because I'm not. I think he's a great player and probably one of the better options we have.